The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation recently announced a $168 million investment into developing next-generation malaria vaccines. Now, let's keep in mind that Bill Gates also owns a mosquito-producing factory that breeds 30 million mosquitoes per week. Recently in the news, Bill Gates was also visiting Nigeria, a country responsible for 32% of the global malaria deaths. Could this be a coincidence? What is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation doing in a country with so many malaria deaths?
Hi, I'm Scott O'Neill here in Medellin, Colombia today, and I'm at the world's biggest mosquito factory for the World Mosquito Program. We're making in here 30 million mosquitoes a week. Come and have a look. We're doing it for a very serious reason. Cities like Medellin have suffered from diseases like dengue, Zika, chikungunya for decades, but not anymore. We've been able to bring the solution of Wolbachia mosquitoes to this city. When this bacteria called Wolbachia gets introduced into the mosquito, it stops their ability to transmit dengue. We release mosquitoes that have Wolbachia, and then they go and mate, and Wolbachia gets passed into the wild mosquito population. If we're going to control these diseases in all the tropical cities of the world, it's going to require a lot of mosquitoes. The mosquito life cycle starts with the egg, and in this room, we've got a lot of eggs. Each one of these strips, these tiny black dots, are up to 10,000 mosquito eggs. Across all of these strips, about 1.5 million dried eggs waiting to hatch. In this tray, we've got the newly hatched eggs. They're little larvae, so small you can hardly see them. They're going to sit in here for a few days and eat and get bigger until they look like these ones over here. They're starting to turn into pupae. We're wanting to do the next step of sorting the males from the females. We want to do that so we can manipulate the sex ratio in the cages to be more female than male. The bottom ones along here are the boys, and the ones at the top are the girls. They're bigger. From here, they're going into the adult cages. We have adults that we continuously grow in what we call our brood stock. And then over here, we have the mass-produced mosquitoes getting ready to give us the eggs to go out directly into the field. It's crazy how they sound. You might wonder, what are we...
Health alert tonight about cases of malaria in the U.S. And here to tell us more is Dr. Shira Daron, the Chief Infection Control Officer for Tufts Medicine Health System. Dr. Daron, good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, Dr. Daron. So nationally, the U.S. typically sees about 2,000 cases of malaria each year. But for the past 20 years, those patients were infected outside the country. So what can you tell us about these new cases? There's a big difference here.
Well, I'm glad not to be talking to you about COVID today. So what's going on here is that there have been 4 patients in Florida and 1 in Texas diagnosed with malaria so far, and none of them have traveled to another country. Now, this has happened before in 2003, so 20 years ago, with 8 cases in Florida. And luckily at that time, it petered out without becoming a long-standing problem. But some international health experts have warned that climate change could alter the distribution of various mosquito species such that we could start seeing malaria regularly in places that don't normally see it, and that would be a bigger problem.